Product. We got generational. The Birdman dead. I flying anywhere though. G-Wagon, so fly. When it comes to these cars, I am there with the match interior, with the tie in the middle. All right, it's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna give everybody about 2 minutes or so to roll in here. What's up, Lee? How you doing today, my brother?
Hear me?
Hey, man, I hope you get some game. I hope you get some value today, man. I appreciate you tapping in, my brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And for y'all that don't know, if it's y'all first time here, or even if you may have forgot, if you have any questions, any questions at all, please drop it in the chat, y'all. Drop it in the chat. If you got a question, drop it in the chat, and I'm going to get back to it at the end. I promise y'all, I never forget about y'all. So if y'all got a question while I'm talking, drop it in the chat. But for time's sake and be respectful of everybody's time, I don't want to stop and answer any questions in the middle. So please, if y'all can, drop it in the chat. Thank you. Escalade with the chromed out nose. It's so hot. All right, so we're gonna get about a minute or two to roll in. We're gonna give them about a minute or two to roll in, and we're gonna get this thing started. Hope y'all are as excited as I am. You know what? Before we get this thing rolling, man, if y'all are excited, can I get a yes in the comment section? If y'all are excited, if you're excited for this week's paid in full theme course, let me get a yes in the comment chat. If I don't get any yeses, I will not start this thing up. I'm not kidding y'all. I'll end it right now. So let me get some yeses in the chat. Let me get some yeses in the chat box. I need energy, baby. I need energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We still got people rolling in. We still got people rolling. There we go. That's my man, D. Brooks. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, LB. Yes, yes, sir. I appreciate everybody. Generational, you got your camera on. You got your camera on. Generational, stay in here. It's generational, stay in it, coming in with his camera on. You flipped it around. You flipped it to the ground. There you go. All right, there you go. There you go. All right, y'all. Everybody's excited. I love it. Well, you know what? We're going to be very respectful of y'all time. We're about to get this thing started. We'll get this thing started. We got a few last people rolling in. But we got the record going and make sure I got all my things. I appreciate everybody for coming out. As y'all can see, the theme for this week's class, week 4, paid in full. That is what we're doing here. Y'all let me know if y'all can see my screen. When y'all can see my screen, type screen. I just need one person. Type screen for me when you can see my screen, please. Can you see my screen? Let me say screen. Come on, somebody screen. There we go. All right. Y'all can see my screen. All right, y'all. Let's get this thing rolling in. That sound good? Paid in full. Week 4, Real Estate United, presented by Dylan Wade. I am y'all host. I look forward to this 45 minutes to 50 minutes I'm going to spend with y'all. If y'all haven't already, make sure y'all follow me right here on Instagram at purchase.house. I'm on Facebook at Dylan Wade. I do follow back, man. Make sure y'all follow me. I am not Hollywood. So let's get this thing cracking. Let's get this thing rolling, y'all. All right. So we're going to start this off with a little agenda. All right, we got people rolling in. I'm gonna make sure we don't have anybody too late. We're gonna make sure we get everybody in here. Everybody in here. All right, cool. So we're gonna start this off with a little agenda, y'all. First off, I'm gonna give y'all a recap of what weeks 1 through 3 entailed. If you guys haven't already watched them already, I'll give you just a brief recap on those. Next, I'll make sure that I roll into what buyers are looking for, especially right now in this market. All right, so what buyers are looking for, we'll talk about that briefly. And then I'll go over how you guys can find buyers locally and virtually. You're going to see that a lot of these methods can be used in both local and virtual markets. So I'll go over that a lot. I'll go over that more in depth than anything on this call, as well as we'll go over how to talk to buyers, right? So just like we had a class on how to talk to sellers, I'll go over briefly how we can talk to buyers and the methodology used when talking to buyers, right? Then we'll go over after that protection from buyers. So buyers beware. How can you protect yourself from buyers? Because there are some buyers out there that do have malintentions. So we'll go over that briefly as well. And then what most of you guys are probably here for, and what I've been running a ton of advertisement on, has been this last thing here, which is listing on the MLS and how you can list your wholesale deals. That's right, list your wholesale deals on the MLS with no real estate license needed. So I'll go over that at the end. I'm saving it for the end to make sure that nobody drops off. Y'all gonna have to stay to the end to get that. And then I'm gonna open up the floor for questions. And like I said, if you guys have any questions along the way, make sure y'all drop them in the chat and I'll make sure to circle back to them. So let's get this thing started. Y'all ready? Let's go. So just to give y'all a quick recap, week 1, we went over how to get started in wholesale and real estate and how to get started in real estate with little to no money, using really nothing but your time and energy. So we went over that in week 1. If you missed that, it's in the Telegram. Join the Telegram if you haven't already, and then click that link. Week 2, we went over how to talk to sellers. And we just went in depth on how to build rapport, how to really get the condition of a property from a seller, and how to make sure that that phone call is very intimate, right? And week 3, we went over deal or no deal. That was the theme for that week. And we went over it. All right, so you know how to talk to sellers now, you know how to get started, but do you really have a deal or not? So we went over estimating repairs and estimating ARV, etc. And now this week, again, we'll be going over how to talk to buyers. And the theme is paid in full. All right. So we're going to go into the mind of a buyer. That is the first slide, mind of a buyer, y'all. So we want to get into the mind of a buyer, just like we got into the minds of a seller. So I want you guys to see and know why individuals or why cash buyers or investors think the way they do when it comes to buying a property. All right. So we're going to talk about buying criteria and why they buy the way they do. So when we're talking to investors, there are usually 3 types of investors we have, and they fall in one of these 3 buckets typically, right? We have the hard money, the person that's going to use hard money to purchase a property, or a basically private money to purchase a property. Then we have somebody that's going to use cash, straight cold hard cash, to buy a property. And then we have these hedge funds that are like big institutions that pool together a ton of money and buy properties. So now what everybody wants to go for when they're getting started out, and usually that they try to shoot for, is this golden egg right here, and that is hedge funds. So everybody hears the glory stories of hedge funds and how they buy at 100% or 90% of ARV and all of that. Now that may be true. However, hedge funds have a very particular buy box. So if I was you, I would not build my business around selling strictly to hedge funds, because at any moment they can turn the water off and they can change their buying criteria. So you don't want to stick to one niche. But now hedge funds do buy at a higher ARV than most investors that use hard money or cash. Now a hedge fund is typically going to want something that's newer built, like 1984 plus. They're going to want it to be a 3-bed, 2-bath, typically. And they're going to want something that doesn't need too much work and renovations and repairs. They typically like light cosmetics / lipstick repairs. That's the hedge fund's buying criteria, right? So that's why it's a lot harder for us to build our business around straight hedge fund buying. And you don't want to do that. You want to be as open as possible and have deals for everyone. But hedge funds, yes, typically they do buy at the highest ARV. So you guys can remember that. And how you can get them is by pulling just a list of hedge funds. You can buy a list all online. They exist. They're not hard to get. If you need help with that, get with me after class. I'll get you guys a hedge fund list. Now, next we have cash. These people typically will buy at a higher ARV as well than somebody at hard money. Typically, not always, but they are still going to be usually less than a hedge fund. Now, the cash person is going to be able to close very, very quickly, and their criteria may range and may be different. It's just all about what they tell you they're looking to buy with, or what they're looking to buy, right? Then next we have hard money lenders or hard money buyers. I'm sorry, people that are buying with hard money, such as myself. I buy with hard money. I use private money, meaning that I have somebody else put up the money for me to buy, to purchase the property, and to give me the renovation funds. So that is what the hard money lenders do for investors like myself. And now, the reason that this 75% of ARV minus repairs even exists is because of individuals that use hard money and other private monies that are out there. So they want to have 75% instead of 100% of the ARV because of situations that may happen where maybe we have a recession or a decline in the prices. They want to still have some equity there left so they're not all in or underwater on their investment. So let's break down really quickly, y'all, this equation. I know we went over it last week. 75% of ARV minus repairs is typically the investor price. Now let's do an example. I want to show y'all why it is the way it is. So for example, for this house that's $300,000, for example, we will multiply that by 75%, right? And that would give us $225,000. Now for this example, I've got repairs at $50,000 just for giggles, right? So that would give us an investor buy price of $175,000. Now you guys might be thinking, okay, so you're telling me that the investor is going to net $75,000. That's the $225,000 minus $300,000 after repair. That is not the case, and I want to tell you guys why they buy the way they do, or why we buy the way we do, right? Because after we paid for repairs at the $50,000, we've also had to pay for closing costs, which may account for 1 to 2%, whatever it may be. We also have to pay for using hard money for origination points, for the origination of the loan, which can be 2 to 3 points. And then we also have to pay for holding costs. So while the property is being renovated and then while we're waiting on it to sell on the market, we have to pay that hard money lender their monthly note. So let's say on $300,000, that is a $1,500 monthly payment. At 6 months, let's say the project takes 6 months from start to finish. That's $9,000 extra that wasn't accounted for. So it may sound like, oh, they're going to walk away with $75,000, but that is almost never the case. And then there's the renovation costs are almost never spot on either. So the reason that they buy at such a deep discount and they're looking for these deep discounts because they have a lot more overhead and fees involved than a lot of people even know about and think about. Wholesalers just think about, oh, okay, 75% ARV minus repairs, and they should be, they're going to walk away with $35,000 to $40,000. They should be good. Why are they complaining? Why are they not buying this property? It's because they have those things I just talked about: closing costs, holding costs, origination points, and all those things can add up. And on what may look like a $75,000 profit, and then they got realtor costs on the back end. They got to sell the house. They're going to flip it. And that can be 6% if they're not a realtor. So we're talking about 13, 14% almost tacked on to that number right there. So instead of them walking away with $75,000, they might walk away with $45,000 in profit. So that's why you guys have to be able to present them deals that are at a deep discount. So even after their holding costs and even after all these fees, they can still make a profit. And they can still make their $30,000 to $45,000 that they like, whatever their sweet spot is. So that's why they buy like this. So before I even move forward at all, do you guys understand that? Can I get a yes on that? Y'all understand that? I know I talk a little fast, y'all. My bad. Yes, yes. Okay, cool, cool. Perfect. So that's why they are buying like that. Now, another thing that you guys want to focus on when we're talking buying criteria and getting into the mind of a buyer. I kind of hinted at it earlier, but year built. That's something that you guys, once you start building relationships with buyers, you want to know, hey, what year bills do you like to stay within? They might like only 2000 and newer. They might like anything. You want to start to find that out about your buyers, as well as the price range that they want to stay in. So maybe they want to stay within a $200,000 to $250,000 max price range. You want to know that from your buyers. So you're not just sending them junk deals and they stop opening up your emails or they stop taking your calls. So that's why you want to know your buyers' preferences, as well as rehab range. Some people don't care. They'll take a project that needs $100,000 to $150,000 in repairs. Some people only want a property that just needs light cosmetic. You want to know that. So you want to know the buying criteria of your buyers or of the buyers that you're trying to reach out to. So when you've got a deal, you know exactly who to think of while you're talking to the seller. You know exactly who you're going to send it to as soon as you get it locked up. So you want to know these things. But guys, every buyer is different. So don't try to put buyers in a box. Everyone is different. Everybody buys differently. Everybody has a different mentality they like to go into. So don't put them in a box. I'm going to talk later on how we can talk to the buyers and get more of this rapport out of them. But just know, guys, that every buyer is different. All right. So now you guys know about their mindset. But now let's talk about how you can find them and where they are. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Where's Waldo, an old 1990s or 2000, whatever it was, infographic where you had to spot the one small guy in a crowd of a million. And I know that's probably how a lot of you guys feel when it comes to finding a buyer for your deals or finding a buyer in general. Well, after this and after these courses, I hope that you do not feel like that ever again. So let's jump into it, right? Where's your buyers? I'm going to show you guys. Screenshot this, everybody. It's recorded, so I'll drop it in the Telegram, but screenshot it, take a picture. But these are places where you guys and ways that you guys can find buyers locally and virtually. And I'm getting excited now, right? So locally, you guys can go to networking events. I meet tons of buyers at networking events. And if you have a deal, bring it to the networking event. Bring the comps with you. Have everything ready and prepped. Bring it to the networking event. There's going to be somebody there that is looking to buy a deal. I guarantee it. I've seen it with my own eyes tons of times. So networking events. You got Facebook, Craigslist, Wholesalers, Realtors, Propstream, which is a paid-for software. You got hedge funds, which we mentioned a little bit earlier. And then we got this hangout. What does this mean, you guys might think? Literally going and hanging out in areas where there are buyers. Maybe you go to the higher end places like cigar bars. Maybe you go to open houses where realtors are hosting open houses for a distressed property. So you can go see and meet and mingle with some of these buyers that are out there looking for investment properties or looking for properties. And then another one that I don't really hear many people talk about, you guys, is hard money lenders, HML. Hard money lenders are a great source for finding buyers. Let me let them in really quickly. I don't want them to miss this at all. Hard money lenders are a great source, you guys, for finding buyers. They are lending out money to investors daily and people that are looking for deals daily. So call them up, have a conversation, say, hey, I just got this deal. Do you have any investors that you've lent some money out to that might be interested in something like this? And oh, by the way, I do not mind paying a referral to you if you can refer somebody to buy this deal. So that is one way. The other ones I'm going to touch on, I'm going to go more in depth in, so don't think that I just breezed through them, guys. I'm going to get back to them. Property managers, another great source. This can be virtually and locally. You can call up property managers. They're managing tons of rentals for clients that are landlords. Maybe you got a rental. Maybe you got a property that has a tenant that's not paying or whatever the case may be. Call these property managers up and ask them, hey, do you have any clients that are looking to maybe expand the rental portfolio? I just got this property under contract. I'm looking to sell it. It might be a great fit for one of your clients. Call property managers, guys. It's going to help them out. They're going to get the property under their portfolio and get a 10% fee, and you can still throw them a little referral fee on the front end. Right? So property managers are another great source that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. They talk about it for finding sellers, but we can use them for a two-way street for finding buyers also, guys. And then texting a list of absentee owners and landlords or calling a list. When I first started out wholesaling, I was text blasting a list of tired landlords, what I thought it was. But I got a ton of people that replied back to me and said, hey, I'm not selling right now, but I am buying. So if you have anything, shoot it my way. So I was able to get my first ever 5 to 10 buyers back in 2020 just off of texting people that I thought were going to be sellers. But they ended up turning to be people that were cash buyers that I could send deals to. So if you're going out there, you're actually making offers, guys. You're talking to motivated, what you think is motivated, tired landlords. You're going to come across some people that are still buying. And put them in your CRM. Put them in your Excel spreadsheet. Keep track of them, right? So that's another way. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into and I'm going to show you guys how you can get on Craigslist with wholesalers, realtors, Propstream. I'm going to show you this whole 9, how you can use these for you guys' benefit. I'm going to first start out with Propstream. You guys don't know what Propstream is. It is a paid service that allows for you to have access to almost any property in the United States. It gives you all the information on it. It gives you comps. It allows for you to see tax information, link properties, all that jazz. But we're not going to spend time on that. But what it does do is if you do pay for this service, I'm going to be very brief on this one because it is a paid for service. You can, if you go to comps, they have this tab called cash buyers. What you do is you just click on it and it'll show you that there's 150 plus cash buyers within a mile of this property that I just got under contract, right? And what I'll do is I'll say, hey, I only want to look at people that's bought something in the last year or so. And I'll say, okay, there's 40 people that bought something cash within the last year, and here's their information, and here's the property that they bought. So if I'm you guys and I have this paid for service, I'm not just pulling lists and using it for comping. I'm pulling a list of cash buyers and I'm text blasting it and I'm calling it. And I'm calling it and I'm saying, hey, I just got this property. I see you bought another property on 2103 Hardy Street. I was wondering if you might be interested in this one. It's only 0.21 miles away from the one you just bought. Would you be interested? And later say yes or no. And you know what you do? You move on to the next. That's it. So that's Propstream, the way that you can pull a cash buyers list, text it, call it, whatever you have. Like I said, if you guys have any questions on any of these, drop them in the chat, please, and I'll circle back to them, I promise. All right, so that's Propstream. I want to jump next into Craigslist. Craigslist ain't dead, y'all. I still sell deals on Craigslist. I still have love for Craigslist. I've been using Craigslist since 2009. I started out selling calculators, iPhones, you name it. So Craigslist still works. What you type in is, or what you want to do is you want to post on there. This is my posting right here from, look at this, guys. This how you know I don't make this up. I posted this property today for sale on Craigslist. Handyman special, great fix and flip opportunity. I've gotten 3 calls since it's been posted 8 hours ago, just from Craigslist. People are saying, what's the property address? What are the numbers? Can I get some more pictures? And what you want to do is you want to keep it very vague, guys. Make them be enticed and interested. So just put one good picture up there. And I've got the Google Drive on here, but people don't read. They're still going to call you and ask for pictures. So put one good picture up there, entice them, have a great headline, and you're going to get calls. And if you don't have a property, you want to start collecting buyers, get a distressed looking property like this. I'll send you the picture of this. Post it in different markets. If you're in Detroit, post it in Sterling Heights, post it in Grand Rapids, post it in Lansing, post it all over just so you can start collecting buyer data. They're going to call you and say, hey, do you still have that available? Hey, no, that's no longer available, is what you'll tell them. But are you looking for other properties like this? If so, I can take your information down and I'll give you a call first thing when something comes in. And that's exactly how you play them on Craigslist. Like I said, and post this and post a very good description. This property is a blank canvas that is ready for an investor to come give it some TLC. It is a handyman special and investor special. Make sure you guys use those two words, handyman special and investor special. Use those two, and I promise you, you're going to get tons of calls. That is the main thing that people search on Craigslist and on Facebook. So that's Craigslist. Right now on Facebook Marketplace, you can do the exact same thing. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, y'all. So you can do the same thing. But what I want to focus on Facebook instead is the power of Facebook groups. Right, so you can do Marketplace, in which I've sold a ton of deals on Marketplace as well. But groups. So I got the Metro Detroit real estate group pulled up right now. I've been in this group, I don't even know how long, I think since 2017. I've been in this group since 2017. I sold 2 properties on here that were Detroit properties that were just in terrible condition. But this thing works. Join local groups. If you're in Atlanta, join the Atlanta Real Estate Investor Group. Join as many of the investor or investment groups as possible in your area. Join them in other states because you never know when you're going to get a deal in another state, and you want to be ready, you guys. And what you do is you just introduce yourself. Hey, it's Dylan here. I'm new to the area. I'm a wholesaler. If I have any properties, I'm gonna be posting them. Just let them know a little bit about you, about what you do and who you are. So when you post a deal, they've already had that introduction to you guys. So use Facebook groups, guys. It is a very powerful tool to find buyers, and you'll see people in here that will give you game. You'll be able to see what other people are selling their houses for. You'll be able to see other investors in there that are posting their work or whatever it is. You can just reach out to them directly, or you can post your deal in here and just say, hey, this is what I have. And you do the same as with this Craigslist. You post a picture, you post the price, you post the address, you post the rehab amount and the ARV. The same things right here on this bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it. Same thing, you post this. Potential profit, right? You post all of that. That's what you guys want to do. All right, so that's Facebook. It's the same method. Another method, which I've used when I first got started out here in Texas to be able to sell deals, was JVing, guys. So what I just do is I just Google this right here. Sell my house fast, Michigan, or sell my house fast, Texas. And every major wholesaler is going to pop up. I mean, every major wholesaler, right? So you got Myers and Home Buyers, you got Home Investors, which is We Buy Ugly Houses. But I skip over those and go to the more smaller ones, like bigger equity. I want to make sure that they don't have an 800 number. I want them to have a local number. The reason I want them to have a local number is because they are going to be more so experts in that market, and they're not going to be such a big company, and you'll probably be able to get more direct answers out of them. So find somebody like this House Cash and or Michigan Cash Offer, whatever it is, right? And they have a 313 number, and you just call them and say, hey, I got a deal that I just got under contract. Would you be interested in JVing? Or do you think you might have some buyers for it? And they're just going to ask you the same thing that anyone else would ask you. What are the details? What's the address? What's the ARV? What's the repairs? The same thing that anybody else would ask you. But I'm going to give you guys a tip. I don't like to JV deals with other wholesalers. What I do to be able to maximize my assignments is this. I send them over the deal and I'll say, what's the most you would pay for this deal? Or I would say, if I got it for $80,000, I would say straight up, hey, I'm looking to get $90,000 for this. You can put whatever you want on top of it. I don't care. So if they sell it for $150,000, whatever I missed out. If they sell it for $92,000, $93,000, that's fine. I still got my 10 grand and I'm happy. But that's the method that I use when messing with any wholesalers. I don't traditionally do a JV unless they say we don't operate that way. We only operate on JV agreements. Because most wholesalers like to do a 50-50 split, which I don't think is fair. Because you did all the work, all the marketing, finding the seller, talking to the seller for a long time, and all they're going to do is press a button because they've got a huge database, and they're just going to blast it out to everybody. And it costs them maybe $1,000, $1,500 to blast it out, and they're going to get 50% of your deal that you worked your tail off for. So that's why I don't like that. If anything, I'll do a 70-30 split, but I don't even like to do that. I straight up will just say, hey, this is the number I want. If you can give it to me, great. If not, I'll move on to the next wholesaling company. And usually they have numbers a number or a goal or a quota attainment that they need to achieve. So they'll take the deal anyways. I've only seen a few places pass on a deal when I've told them that and say, hey, or they might say, hey, we need a 70-30 split. Only a few places. So if you stick to it and say firm, hey, this is how I operate, you know, you can either get with the program or get lost. They'll more than likely want to do business with you and take that house down with you and get paid. They're still going to get paid, which is all they care about. And this is how we sold a lot of our first initial deals while we were still building up our buyers list. So don't sleep on other wholesaling companies, y'all. They've been doing this for longer than y'all. They've got other buyers. They've got thousands of buyers. So use them to your advantage. All right. So that's what a third way right there. Another one, realtors. You guys might be saying, well, wow, you can use realtors for sellers and for buyers. Yes. Realtors are essential for finding sellers and for finding buyers. And what you guys are going to use for this is redfin.com, not Zillow. Again, redfin.com, not Zillow. So whenever you have a property, let's just say this one's in Houston, what you want to do is draw a mile radius map around that property and look on Redfin at the sold properties. You guys can see this one sold in February. Look to see something that sold within the last 6 months if possible. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you can find a flip. You don't want to find something that's sold that's distressed just yet. You can, but you want to find something that's sold that's flipped. And how do you know if it's a flip? You guys will know. It'll look something like this. It'll have the cedar planks, the nice address on the front. It'll look brand new, and then you'll know by the inside, right? Look at the inside. It's got the grays and the whites. That's what everybody's going with now. It's got the basic flipper style written all over, right? It's got the quartz countertops. It's got the herringbone backsplash. You know, it's a straight up a flip. And when you see that, what you want to do is you want to see, hey, who sold this property? And I would look and I say, oh, Christina Delatorre listed this property and sold this property. And what I would do is I would reach out to Christina and say, hey, Christina, I see that you sold this property on Noble Street. I've got one down the street from it. It looks like it was a fix and flip. I was wondering if the investor that you were representing, if it was an investor that you're representing, might be interested in another property that is just like this one. So you're calling the realtor and you're letting them know, hey, I have another property that's just like the one you just sold, but it's in bad condition still. So if you got that investor that just sold this one and just made top dollar, let them know that they have another opportunity to buy another one just like it in the same neighborhood. And you know what you do? You give them a little commission for it. You say, hey, I know you don't work for free. Not only are you going to get paid from the buyer buying it, but I'll also make sure you get paid too. I'll throw you 2% commission or whatever the percent commission is that you want to throw in there. The more percent commission you throw in there, the more motivated the buyer's agent, the realtor will be to sell the house for you. So you can give them a call. Redfin is great with keeping up there who sold the property. Zillow is not. So use Redfin for that, guys. Call the realtors. Call all of them and say, hey, I got this property. Can y'all help me out? Right? So that is how you guys can find buyers locally and virtually. So before I move on, you know, I want to make sure that everybody's all right. I don't want to yes, because I don't want y'all to be too repetitive. Can I get a okay? Can I get an okay, man? If y'all are getting that. Did y'all get that? How y'all can find the buyers locally and virtually. Okay. Let me get some okays. Yeah. There we go. All right, cool. If y'all got any questions, like I said, y'all, drop them in the chat. I'm going to get back to it. I promise y'all. All right, but let's keep this thing rolling. We're at, what, 7:33. All right, let's get this thing pushing. So we just went through our little bit of practice, y'all. Now I'm going to give y'all some music. I had to get out of entertainment, but I took my water break. All right, so can we talk? That's what I want to talk about right now, y'all. How to talk to buyers. So now y'all know where they at. Now y'all know their criteria and how they buy, mostly, or why they buy the way they do. Now let's jump into how to talk to buyers, right? So the first thing you want to do when you're talking to buyers, y'all, is you want to create a sense of urgency. Create a sense of urgency, y'all. You don't want, they're just like sellers. They buy off of emotion, just like sellers will sell off of emotion. So I'm gonna give y'all a little story. I don't know if y'all have ever done this, but I have, and I'm gonna be fully transparent with y'all. Have y'all ever done this? I've done this tons of times. Like I said, it's been back to school time, and we're going in back to school season. It's back to school. Maybe we're a day or two before school starts, and you're school shopping. Oh, who we got coming in? Because I want them to hear this story. Okay. So it's back to school time. You go on school shopping, and you're looking for those new shoes that you can impress everybody with, right? And you're in the shoe store, and you know that there's a certain pair of shoes you want, but the person comes back from the back and says, "I'm sorry, we don't have your size. We have like a half size that we only have, or maybe a size below, but that's it." And you're so eager that you're like, "I'll take it. I'll buy them," knowing good and well they're too small, but you still buy them, right? That is the same type of urgency that I want y'all to have and push with the buyers, right? They shouldn't have buyer's remorse or anything, but I want you guys to make them make a decision so quickly because they want it so bad. And that's the type of urgency that y'all need to give them. It needs to be like that pair of shoes when you're going back to school that you knew you shouldn't have bought and that are only going to make it past 2 days because your toes are crumpled up. That is the type of urgency that you guys need to give y'all buyers, right? Now, next, I hope y'all like that. If y'all like that, say okay. All right. Make them feel VIP, y'all. Make them feel like they are important, because they are. Just like the sellers are important, the buyers are important to this transaction. So make them feel like they are special. VIP, very important person is what they need to be in your lives. I mean, and they are. They're the reason that you'll get paid, right? So how do you make them feel VIP? Let me back up. On the sense of urgency, what you need to do is let them know, hey, you're the first person that I'm sending this to. This goes and blends into the VIP. You're the first person I'm showing this to. So what I'm going to do is, while you're checking it out and everything, I know that's fine, but I'm going to send over an assignment agreement already just for you. Just if you don't want it, that's fine. But I'm going to have an assignment agreement already ready for you to take a look at after you look at the numbers and everything. And you can let them know you might not be the only one that I send this to, if you don't make a decision in the first, 15 minutes. I'm going to blast this thing out if you don't make a decision in the first 15 minutes or so. And when you say the word blast this out, they know that the whole world is going to see it, and they want to see it first, and they want to have first dibs, especially in this market. Now, we do have more inventory on market right now than we've had in the past year. However, it is still a shortage of inventory. We only have about 2 months of inventory on market. A normal market has about 3 to 4 months of inventory, right? So we still have a shortage. So make them feel VIP and create that sense of urgency, y'all. Let them know, hey, when I bought this property, I thought of you. You were the first person that came to mind that I wanted to show this to and see if you would be interested. Make them feel like a very important person, y'all. That's how y'all talk to these buyers. And then build rapport, okay? Just like you build rapport with the sellers, build rapport with them. You need to be able to build so much rapport with these buyers that when you send over a deal, they buy it just because they trust you, right? They might not even want to walk it anymore. They might not even care about looking at the pictures like that. They might just straight up say, hey, you know what? I can buy it sight unseen because every deal that I have bought from Dylan has been solid. And I know that his numbers are always on point. His renovation numbers are always on point. Everything's just always on point. And that's the type of rapport and trust that you need to build with them. And then build the rapport to let them to figure out what it is they're looking to do. Are they looking for fix and flips? Are they looking for rentals? Are they looking for commercial? Really dig deep and have conversation with you guys as buyers to figure out what they're looking to do, not only now, but long-term and down the road. Guys, so you're not just going to be selling them properties today. This shouldn't be a one and done. You should not feel like, hey, I just got one off on my buyer. He's never going to buy from me again. That is the wrong mentality to have. You guys should have a long-lasting relationship with your buyers. It should be a partnership almost with your buyers. So that's why you want to make sure you build rapport and really see what it is their long-term goal and vision is and how you can play a part in that. So that goes into the building rapport portion, right? And then reasons why they should buy the property. Give them the reasons. This is when you become a listing agent. This is when you say, hey, it's by a hospital. It's in a gentrified area. 4 properties on this in this block are already being renovated. This is the ugliest house on the block right now out of all the 15, 20 houses. So you really want to jump on this now. Give them reasons why they should buy it. Let them know, hey, it can gross profit 50, 60,000, whatever it is. And then have your comps ready when you're talking to them. When you're on the phone with them, you can say, well, hey, you know, if you don't mind, pull up 123 Main Street sold for 250,000, you know, and 321 Main Street sold for 249. So, you know, I think that my numbers are pretty on par. So have your comps ready as well when you're on the phone with them, when you're talking to them. So you want to make sure you do your due diligence before you even speak to them. And then you want to be known for this, giving a good estimation on repairs. Wholesalers have a terrible name in the real estate marketplace for giving terrible estimations on repairs. It'll be a $100,000 repair property and they will say it needs 50K. Do not be one of those people, y'all. Please do not, because then they're going to come to me and say, you talked in this? No, I didn't. So be true, stick to your numbers. If you do that, investors will love you, and give a solid estimation as well on your ARV. You can give a range. If it's a $200,000 property, say 190 to 205 or 210, you can give a range, that's fine. But be known for being trustworthy, faithful, honest, and you will go so far in this industry with investors. Let's talking to buyers, y'all. Now, I think the next slide, I don't want to get y'all too excited. Nope, it's not. All right, cool. All right, so that's talking to buyers. Now, really quickly, what I'm going to breeze over is how y'all can have protection from buyers, because not all buyers are good. Some buyers do have malintentions. So it is all in the assignment contract and in the wording. So in our assignment contract, it states that this EMD, this earnest money deposit that they put up when they are saying they're going to purchase this property, is non-refundable unless we cannot deliver clear title. So if for whatever reason they walk away the day of, whatever, because I've had it happen. I've had a friend who I thought was going to buy the property walk away the day of closing and just not show up. You want to make sure that you get a sizable amount of EMD. So if they do walk away, you still get something out of the transaction and you're not just left bare with bare hands, right? So I always suggest, if you can get $5,000 in EMD, if you can get more, the more in EMD that you can get, the more serious and good faith that the investor has. That shows you how much they truly do want the property and how much they truly intend on going through with it. Right? So get a sizable EMD. And then if you can, file a memorandum and make them sign an NDA, your buyers. So this will allow for them to not circumvent you and go around you and talk straight to the seller and cut you out, say you don't get any money. So that's filing a memorandum / signing NDA. Take a picture of this. Like I said, I'm getting short on time. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know everybody is here for this last portion right here, right? So that's buyer protection, buyer / buyer beware. Now let's talk about this, right? Listing on the MLS. This changed my life. Listing on MLS. Yes, you can wholesale it. You can list a wholesale deal on the MLS. You just need to have a purchase agreement that says the words marketing and or assigns. If you say that you can market a property, on your purchase contract, which if you guys are in the Telegram, I give you a contract that says and or assigns, and in paragraph 6 it says we have the right to market this property, then you can list that bad boy on the MLS, y'all. And I'm gonna show y'all how y'all can do it. I hope y'all ready. Before I even reveal this, I need a drum roll, and I need y'all to tell me that y'all ready. I need it ready in the chat. Hey, before I drop this game and this sauce, I need it ready in the chat, because this is I paid $8,000 to find out this piece of free game right here. $8,000. So I'm giving it to y'all for free. How to list on the MLS. Y'all ready? Get your pen and paper out. It's a website, and y'all not gonna believe it. It's a flat rate website that only charges $150 for you to list your property on the MLS. and it is called Brokerless.com. So write that down, screenshot this, y'all. Brokerless.com. And before y'all go buying anything from them, let me know, because I have a relationship and a partnership with them, and we can get you a discount. And I also do get $5. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. All right, I get $5 for every person that buys. So before y'all buy, help a brother out. I'm doing everything for free. So just, let me know before y'all can. But now when you're on Brokerless, they have a flat fee MLS listing. You can only choose this one in the middle. They have the 3 there, but you can only choose this one right here. 149 MLS by owner. It gives you 6 months of local MLS listing. And it is true. You are on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service, which is where all the realtors, all the brokerages use to view properties and to show properties to their clients. So as soon as you list this property, you get with Brokerless, your property is going to be listed on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, all these websites, hundreds of websites, for the price that you say, with your number on there, and they're going to be calling you, right? And I kid you not, this thing works like a charm. Your phone's going to be getting blown up by realtors. They're going to be asking, hey, when can I show this thing? When can I show this thing? I got a buyer interested. When can I show this? And take advice from me. Please know about the property. I've listed a property and didn't know a thing about it. They called me and asked, are your bedrooms downstairs, upstairs? I didn't know anything, right? Because I bought it virtually and I just immediately listed it. So before y'all do that, do your due diligence. Know the layout of the property. Know everything you need to know about the property. So when these realtors call, you can walk them through the property as well. And this works best for vacant properties. If the property is vacant and on a lockbox, this works like a charm, guys. And what you want to do is you can only get 25 photos. So you want to get the best 25 photos you can. You don't want the photos that are blurry, that are crooked. Take really good professional photos. Take 50 to 60 photos. And out of those 50 to 60, y'all, choose 25. Okay? And what they'll do once you buy this $150 listing service, they'll send you over a listing agreement. And they're going to ask you to email them a copy of your purchase agreement that says that you can assign it. And they're going to send you back a listing agreement. And they're going to ask you to put the purchase price, everything you know about the property. And guess what, y'all? When it asks who's the seller and who should be contacted, it's going to have y'all number on it. So they're not going to call the seller that's on file. They're not going to call your seller. They're going to call you. That's the best thing about this. And how does it look, y'all? I'd be asking, this is the property that we sold over here in Louisville. We got this thing at like 75% of the ARV and sold it at almost 90% of the ARV. So it was worth, we sold it for $240 and it was worth $233, it says on Zestimate. We got it at 180. And since I got it so high, I said, man, this is perfect. It's vacant. It's in clean condition. What person, and look, I took these photos. These are off of my iPhone, right? These aren't even the best. This thing sold in 24 hours at $15,000 or $20,000 over the asking price because of how hot the market is and how strong of a catalyst the MLS can be to your listing. So we listed this thing at $220, got $20,000 over asking. But what I want to show you guys is how it looks. It looks like this, listed by Joseph Walter Realty. So it's going to say Joseph Walter Realty as your brokerage. That's the brokerage that lists the property for you. But when they call, they don't call Joseph Walter. They call Dylan Wade, or they call Janae, or they call Imani. They call whoever it is that put that name on there. And I'm telling y'all, this can change your life. Because some deals, y'all might say, this isn't really a deal. They want retail almost. They're like 80% of the ARV. You know what you can do? If it's vacant, if they're willing and able, and they don't already have it listed, or they're not already working with a realtor, take some good photos and smack that bad boy on the MLS. It's worth the $150 shot. Because maybe you do this 5-6 times. One of these selling will pay for that and then some. So y'all, that's how y'all can list a property on the MLS. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the floor. Well, I think I gotta give y'all some homework. And after that, yeah, some homework here. And then after that, I'm gonna open up the floor for some questions, y'all. But for the homework, what I want y'all to do is get on my calendar like y'all did when we did how to talk with sellers. Get on my calendar and we'll do a role play on me being an investor, and you guys can pitch me some of the deals that y'all have been seeing. And I'll let you guys know. I'll act just like a buyer, and I'll say if I'm interested, if I'm not, we'll do some role play, right? So get on my calendar, and please do that. That is what I ask. But other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope y'all learned something. So I want to open up the floor to any questions y'all got. Do you offer MLS listing to a seller when trying to get the house under contract? I do not offer it to the seller because I like to keep it in my back pocket. Now, if they decline my cash offer, if they declined my my cash offer, then I'll maybe ask them if they're open to me listing it for a fee. And what you do is in your purchase agreement, you just put up in the bottom of the special provisions, the seller agrees to pay you a flat rate fee of X% or whatever it may be. So you can offer it. I've offered it before, and we sold a house for somebody for 2%, so he could be the low man or whatever. But I don't like that because it's such a small fee. So what you can do is basically what they call like a net listing, which can be illegal in some states. But if you do it this way, and if Brokerless allows it in your state, then you're good. So, but I don't like to offer the MLS listing to a seller. I like to kind of try to keep it in my back pocket and keep it hidden, because then they know they can just go to a realtor, and the realtor is going to get them way more and cut us out. So that's why I don't really offer it. So you don't have to have an RE license to list a property on MLS. No, you do not have to have a real estate license to list on MLS. You just need to have a purchase agreement with equitable interest, and a purchase agreement gives you equitable interest. So that is all you need. What's the turnaround? I hope that answered your question. What's the turnaround time after my house gets sold on the MLS? What's the turnaround time to get paid? So for this one, let's see, when did we list? We listed it. We got paid in 7-8 days. We listed it on like a Thursday, and we got paid that next Monday. So we got listed Thursday. It was up for 7 days next Friday, and we got paid the following Monday because it was all cash. And this guy put down $25K EMD. That's how I knew he wasn't playing. $25K EMD, ain't closed in 10 days, and we were paid out, and we was doing the dance, and we went to have some good food after. We got a steak dinner, and we were smiling and cheesing ear to ear and said we need to list every property on the MLS. So I hope that answers your question. Any other questions, y'all? These good questions, really, really good questions. I know I'm talking fast, y'all. Sorry, I get a little excited. Come on, y'all, bring it with me. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Any other questions? I know y'all gotta have some. What is EMD? Great question. There we go. EMD is earnest money deposit. It's a good faith deposit that you are going to purchase the property. It's kind of like a down payment on the property. So if the property is $100,000, you put down, let's say, $1,000 in EMD or earnest money. It's typically 1%. Once you go to close, it'll be credited to your purchase price. So if you're purchasing it for $100,000, the new purchase price at close will be $99,000. So the EMD is just a good faith deposit that you're going to purchase the property. Hope that answered your question, Alex. Talk fast, make money fast. You know what I'm saying? Talk fast and talk cash. Any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? That's a good question. Y'all got really, really good questions. I love it. And if y'all have any, and you walk away with the EMD if the buyer backs out. Yep. So if the buyer backs out, this assignment contract that I'll give y'all in the Telegram, you'll walk away with it. You'll walk away with the EMD. That's why I love to have a sizable EMD. And sometimes, y'all, you can get blessed, right? Because if the seller is very, let's say he's a cool seller, then you can say, hey, I apologize, things didn't work out. I need an extension for another 2 weeks. And you get to take that first buyer's EMD, that $5,000, and then you get to resell the deal. So then you can resell it to another buyer, and then they can close on it. So maybe you got a $10K assignment, plus you got that $5K EMD that the first buyer walked out on. So that's why you always want to get some good sizable EMD. And then usually they have a good sizable EMD, they don't want to walk away. Thank you, grandmother. If y'all don't know, that's my grandma in here. You see, I got all types of support, family in the house. Yeah, Jazz. Yeah. Great question. Great questions, y'all. That got anything else for me? We got a lot of people in the house today. This might be the most people we've ever gotten. I am doing a 10K lead giveaway. Don't think I forgot y'all. What I got to do is I got to see who brought the most people. If y'all can, if somebody invited y'all in here, say who invited y'all. If somebody invited you into this call, say who invited y'all in the chat. And I want to see who brought the most people because I'm doing a 10K lead giveaway. 5K free leads will be to whoever brought the most people into the chat. 5K free leads be whoever brought the most people into the call tonight. So y'all, my neighbor. Hey, I know. You a fool. All right, cool. Well, I'll be doing that giveaway in the chat, 10K free leads. So y'all not going to want to miss out for that. I'm doing giveaways every week, everybody. So that's another benefit of being in the Telegram. So please join if y'all aren't in it already. Any other questions, y'all? We right on the money on time today. I love it. I love it. Any other questions? I appreciate the free game. No problem. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and giving me an hour of y'all time on this Thursday night. I truly do. Thank you for everybody that came out. Thank you for everybody that's listened. Thank you for everybody that's been engaged. Truly, y'all make this so much easier, and I love to give. So thanks for just being on the receiving end and receiving it. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. What you doing next week? I'm glad y'all asked. I've been waiting for somebody to ask. So next week's theme will be 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, D. Next week's theme is going to be Get Rich or Die Trying. So y'all ain't going to want to, I can't wait to drop the infographic on that joint, but it's going to be on creative financing and on how to have multiple exit strategies. So I won't go in depth on every exit strategy, but some deals might not look like a deal, but I'm going to show you how you can get real creative and make something work. We're going to go over briefly subject twos, owner finance, like listing on the MLS as well as one of your exit strategies. There's going to be a ton that we can go over. How you can stop people from pre-foreclosures immediately. I'm going to go over everything that is creative. Novations, yes, I'm going to go over the novation briefly. Y'all are not going to miss it. So that's why it's called Get Rich or Die Trying, because some deals might not look like a deal, but we going to die trying to get that bad boy to the finish line, y'all. So next week will be creative financing and exit strategies, because you have to have multiple exit strategies in this game. If you are just a wholesaler trying to find buyers and only wholesale, you will not make it far. You have to be creative. That is the only way. I mean, the only way that you can really be a beast in this game, y'all. Yeah. So cool, man. I mean, did y'all find this valuable? Can I get valuable? Can I get a valuable before y'all end up leaving out of here real quick? Can I get a valuable?
Valuable.
Hey, I appreciate it, LV. And for those of y'all that's in Michigan, man, y'all make sure y'all tap in with LV. Y'all can get with him on the products and services that he has as well. Valuable. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, cool, man. I appreciate everybody. I hope this was worth y'all time on y'all Thursday night. Hope y'all learned how to talk to buyers, how to find buyers. And if y'all have any other questions on how I can go more in depth on some stuff, because I was super fast, DM me, comment, PM me on the side, and we can schedule some time together. And I take calls, y'all, all day. Don't be afraid to give me a call or shoot me a message. So do y'all have any other questions? If not, I'll let y'all out of here early tonight for the first time. Nope. All right, cool, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all. Thank everybody again. Thanks for everybody that came out, family, friends, and people a part of our United community. Thanks so much. I hope y'all have a blessed evening. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.